Hey, welcome back to Livin MN Outdoors. I'm Daniel, and thanks for tuning in to this week's ice and fishing report. Today we're going to cover Lake Winnie, Leech Lake, Mille Lacs Lake, Red Lake, and some of the local area lakes to Princeton. So let's dive right into those and get started. All right, we're going to start up on Lake Winnie. That's where we were this past weekend. Currently, out of the Pines Resort on Tamarack Bay, they have 10.5+ inches of ice. For this weekend, they are going to be allowing out side-by-sides, ATVs, snowmobiles, all that good stuff, but they're going to hold off on fish houses and trucks. So for this weekend, ATVs, side-by-side, snowmobiles, all good to go. No wheelhouses yet, no trucks yet. As far as the fishing goes, the walleye and perch bite has been very good out there. We found the majority of our fish in that 9 to 11 foot of water. I know some people are finding them in a little bit shallower, in that even up to 7 foot of water. The best bite for us was on a plain red hook with a fat head. For the walleyes after dark, a small sucker minnow worked well. And then for jigging, we used the Northland tungsten slim spoons in the 1/8 ounce size. Tipped that with a minnow head and had some luck on some perch and walleyes on those. Now, there are some bluegills swimming around in that shallow water on that sand to grass mix. So have a small tungsten jig and a wax worm ready, and you can catch some absolute tanker bluegills. Now, the guys in the spear houses, they have been getting some absolute hog pike out there. We caught quite a few too, jigging and on our set lines. So if you want to get some pike, that is definitely an option as well. Now, the Pines Resort, they do have cabins available. They have fish houses, spear houses, full bar and restaurant, live bait, everything you could ask for, they got it. So if you're looking to get up to Lake Winnie this coming weekend or in the future, go ahead and call Chad from the Pines Resort. Now, if you guys are looking to book a sleeper house out on Lake Winnie, Scott from zupsguideservice, he will have 5 sleeper houses out on Winnie. He told me today that he will have them out there by December 27th. He might be able to get them out a little bit earlier than that, but he's going to stick with that December 27th as a firm date right now. And he does still have some weekend availability along with a ton of weekday availability. So if you want to get up to Lake Winnie and enjoy some of that walleye and perch fishing, maybe even some bonus eel pout and panfish, go ahead and call Scott from zupsguideservice. All right, moving down to Leech Lake. I talked to Kyle from Acorn Hill Resort today, and unfortunately, with the large amount of snow that they got and the wind and the really cold temps this coming weekend, they are going to be closed for this coming weekend. Now, he is planning to open up on December 18th. It will more than likely be for side-by-sides, ATVs, and snowmobiles, but there is an outside chance that there might be some half-ton truck and single-axle wheelhouse action going on that weekend. So definitely stay tuned to our Facebook and YouTube, and we will update you as soon as we know that. But Acorn Hill Resort, they do have cabins. They have sleeper houses, day houses, spear houses, pretty much anything you want. They got it up there, full bar and restaurant, indoor swimming pool. So if you're looking to get up to Leech Lake this winter, go ahead and call Kyle from Acorn Hill Resort. All right, moving down to Mille Lacs Lake. Up on the north end of the lake, they are finding about 7 inches of ice out to the first break. They're actually out about 3/4 of a mile, finding a good consistent 7.5 inches of ice. A lot of the resorts are going to be allowing out ATVs, snowmobiles. I believe they're going to be holding off on side-by-sides for this weekend yet, but definitely check in with the resort that you are planning to go out of. Now, as far as the south side of the lake, Walk-On Bay, they have a bunch of ice in the bay. They are all the way out now to 4 and 5 mile with a consistent 9+ inches of ice out there on 5, 4. Some of those structures out from there. They are going to be allowing out ATVs, side-by-side snowmobiles, and it won't be long before single axle wheelhouses and trucks are headed out onto Mille Lacs Lake. Now, Cove Bay as well, there's a ton of ice in Cove Bay. Side-by-sides, ATVs, snowmobiles, they're good to go in Cove Bay as well. If you're going to venture outside of the bay in Cove, with a side-by-side especially, I would be checking the ice very frequently, just making sure that it stays consistent out past the bay. All right, now moving over to Red Lake. I've been getting reports that there's anywhere from 11 to 13 inches of ice. They didn't get a ton of that snow that we got down here, but with the extreme cold temps, they are worried about cracks forming this weekend. So they are going to be holding off to just side-by-side ATVs and snowmobiles for this weekend. Doesn't sound like anybody's going to be allowing out trucks or wheelhouses. So you're going to have to wait one more weekend for that. Now, as far as the bite goes out on Red Lake, really good bite going on in 11 to 13 foot of water. Gold spoons or plain red and pink hooks, either with a fat head or a rainbow, is working very well. Now, a lot of the onshore fish house rentals that people had been staying in, those are moved out onto the lake now. So if you're looking to book a sleeper house out on Red Lake, those are available. I would assume short notice. It's going to be tough to get in one of those, but later in the season, if you're looking to do that, go ahead, call one of those resorts up there and get something on the books. Now, as far as the Princeton area lakes, we're finding anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of ice. A lot of the lakes are taking out ATVs on. I would hold off on side-by-sides for right now, unless you're going to check as you go. But it's still pretty early, and we do have about 6 or 7 inches of fresh snow out there. And I do know that when you drill a hole right now, those holes are bleeding water. So if you stay in one spot too long, you're going to be standing in water, and there's more than likely going to be some slush. All right, guys, well, that is going to do it for this week's fishing report. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, if you get out fishing, be respectful of other fishermen. Don't crowd your neighbor. Absolutely do not throw your garbage on the lake. If you pack it out there, pack it back in. And most importantly, don't forget to get on out there and get living.